I reached the city at 10 p.m. with a bag hanging on my shoulder. I was standing in front of my aunt's house and I was feeling a strange hesitation. Of course, I was called here because of her, but I was a very quiet person. Coming to a woman's house at 10 p.m. was making me very embarrassed. I took a deep breath of air and with courage knocked on her door. The door was opened on the first knock itself, but I was stunned to see her condition. She had a scarf around her neck, her hair was scattered, and there was a lot of sweat on her face. I greeted her and came inside the house, while her complexion was turning pale. I got a little worried and looking at her asked inquiringly, "What happened, Aunt? Is everything fine? You seem a bit worried." Hearing me, she immediately pulled her hair back and looking at me said, "Yes, I am fine. Actually, I was working in the kitchen. It has been so long, I thought, what will you bring?" she said nervously, moving inside, while I also checked her clothes. So I took her to the hospital. My younger brother had come to the city to meet father. That is why I had to stay there. My sister had also gone to Aunt's place. That is why there was some trouble. I am sorry for disturbing you at this time. If there is any issue, I will come in the morning and go to father. After listening to me, she immediately turned for a moment. I felt that she will say yes, but she immediately shook her head in denial and said, "No, what fun is it now?" Suddenly she said this with a crooked face. It seemed as if her tongue slipped. I looked at her with surprise and asked questioningly, "What do you mean? What fun?" I had to say this. She got very nervous and looking at me said, "Hey, what I mean to say is that it is okay. Now, you are ahead, so take rest. This other room is yours," she said, pointing towards the room. I was very hungry at that time, but I became quiet because I did not know her ways nor her temperament, and I was feeling this thing a bit strange. That is why I had to go to the room quietly and I had to go to the village. I used to live in Pakistan and often used to come to the city for studies. During this time, my uncle got married. He stayed with his wife in Pakistan for 3 months, and then after 3 months, he went back to the foreign country. He was not well educated. That is why he was doing some kind of work in foreign countries to improve his livelihood. I did not like this act of his. Leaving immediately after marriage ruins a woman's life. Papa had also explained to Uncle that you are doing wrong. If you intend to stay in a foreign country for a long time, then keep your wife there. And if you cannot do this, then do not get married. It is wrong to ruin a girl's life like this. But Uncle had said that there should be a woman for my identity, too. I will keep coming and going. Now everything is given by God. Uncle had assured father that is why he was given permission. But I had disagreed. But I was a child, so my opinion was not given much importance. After 3 months when he went to a foreign country, then my father forced me to come to the city and stay with my aunt. He also lived in the city because he had a job in a bank, but he used to come to the village every week to meet Mummy and spend time with her, but Uncle had done a big mistake, and now I was sent to the city to take care of his wife. Anyway, I also saw ease for myself because my studies were also affected. I used to go to college only after months. Now I felt that I can go to college comfortably and also take good coaching. Time started passing slowly. The room which was given to me was suitable for living. Apart from that, I had decided on my own that I will change its furniture a little. Papa's post in the bank was very good, so we did not have to worry about money at all. I was not worried. I had kept my luggage aside and lay down on the bed to sleep. I was very tired due to the long journey, but as they say, hunger is a very bad thing. This fire in the stomach does not allow a person to relax. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the night. I was feeling so hungry that sitting was impossible. I immediately got up and sat down. I tolerated it for some time, but when I started feeling hungry, I decided that I would go to the kitchen and quietly eat whatever I could find, and if I did not find anything, I would cook it. Thinking this, I came out and suddenly I started hearing sounds of cat fat. I was surprised at what was happening. Where are these sounds coming from? Has someone entered the house? As soon as this thought came to my mind, I immediately became alert. I listened carefully towards the sound and found that the sound was coming from near the door. Thinking that there was someone near the main door, I immediately moved forward, but I was stunned to see the scene in front of me. Auntie was closing the door of the house. Had she come from the outside? Before I could say anything, she turned around and was so terrified that there was no limit to it. Her face was pale. Before I could say anything, she immediately combed her hair and said, "I came to see whether the door was locked or not." "What are you doing?" I knew that she was lying. I had obviously seen her entering the house, but I remained silent because I thought that I might be wrong. I changed the topic and said yes. I was feeling hungry, that's why. I came out of the room. "Have you cooked something?" Hearing my question, she slapped her forehead, and looking at me said, "Oh, it crossed my mind to ask you about food." "Yes, I have cooked chicken biryani for you. Come, I will give it to you." Saying this, she went towards the kitchen while I was following her. After serving me the food, she was going straight to the washroom. I thought that she must have to relieve herself, but after a while, the sound of falling water started coming. She was taking a bath at 3:00 in the night in the cold night. I was surprised and looked towards the washroom and then shook my head. I quietly bowed my head and ate the food and went to my room, but I was not feeling right. On the very first day, I was not feeling good seeing Auntie. I don't know why my heart was saying that something is definitely wrong, but for the time being I shook my head because at that time I was feeling very uncomfortable. I was feeling very sleepy. I straightened my blanket and went to sleep. Next morning when I woke up, I could hear the sound of the aunt. She was talking to someone on the phone. I stretched myself and went to the washroom in my room and changed my clothes. When I came out after washing my hands and face, she was talking to my father. Looking at me, she had finished talking and had switched off the phone and started asking me what I would like to eat. I shyly told her about my breakfast. She looked at me in surprise and then said laughingly, "Brother, you people have a very dangerous diet. Anyway, I will make it for you. Your father is saying that you should go to his house and give him some things." I shook my head in assent after hearing her and sat down silently on the dining table. My intention was to ask her if she had gone anywhere last night, but then I thought that if I ask her all this on the first day itself, she will get angry for no reason, and if she says something wrong to Chachu, then things will get spoilt between me and Chachu for no reason. When she placed breakfast in front of me, I thanked her silently, but I started eating breakfast hurriedly. She sat down next to me and then spoke in a slightly troubled tone. "Can I tell you something?" I looked at her and she looked quite confused. She twisted her fingers. She looked very nervous to me. Before I could say anything, she said, "I had gone to my friend's house last night. Actually, I was a little scared seeing you suddenly at night." Her tongue faltered. I was surprised and looked at her and asked inquisitively, "But Aunt, at such a late hour, and you said that you were closing the door." Hearing my words, she looked at me and bowed her head and said, "I know. That is why I am explaining my words to you. Actually, I was scared to see you in front of me last night, that you might say something wrong to your uncle, but your father has told me that you are very good. That is why I am telling you. Actually, my friend's husband is also in a foreign country. Last night, his health suddenly deteriorated, so he called me. That was the reason I went to him. If I wanted, I could have told you the truth at night itself, but I want to be forgiven." I was a little scared. Her repeatedly giving explanations for the same thing was a bit unpleasant to me. Looking at her, I said, "Okay, no problem, but keep in mind in future that it is dangerous for women to go out at night. It happens that in villages this thing is considered very bad. If anyone in the village gets to know about this, then your character will be criticized to such an extent that there is no limit. If you want to make friendship, then make it during daytime and be careful at night." I had chosen my words very well, and then saying Allah Hafiz to him, I went towards Baba. I was with Baba the whole day. Baba said that you should stay with me today, but I refused, saying that no, I want to fulfill the responsibility of which I have been given very well. Now, if I go to you, then he will be lonely there. Chachu has put his responsibility on my head, so I want to fulfill my responsibility, honestly. I had said this very seriously while Baba said, while keeping his hand on my shoulder, I feel proud that you are my son. You have so much understanding, and at such a young age, very few people have done this. Children have this. Hearing her words, a smile spread on my lips. Around 7 p.m., I left my father's house and headed towards my uncle's house. After a long journey, I reached home. I knocked on the door, and the door was opened on the first knock. Today, her appearance was absolutely fine. She had applied lipstick on her lips and had combed her hair. I greeted her gently and entered the house with my head bowed. Her changed appearance was surprising me, but I did not want to pay attention to her at the moment because I knew that she was young and beautiful. I am a man, and she was also young. That is why I was keeping a little distance from her. She was not a mahram for me, and while following me, she asked in a questioning tone, "Should I take out food for you? You must be feeling hungry." I shook, my head in denial, and looking at her said, "No, Auntie, I have come after having my food. I wanted to tell you that from tomorrow I will join my college too. If you need to order something, or you need some essential goods, or you need to go to the market, then we can leave now. It is not too late because from tomorrow I will be busy." I stood near the door and spoke to her in a low voice. She looked at me and said, No, there is no need for this. I will bring the goods myself. You concentrate on your studies comfortably. You don't need to worry about this at all. And yes, your Baba was telling me that you will also take coaching, etc. Now she had come inside the house with me. I had reached the lodge. I nodded, yes, and went to my room. I did not think it appropriate to talk to her much. Time was passing slowly. It had been a week since I had come to my uncle's house. I had joined both coaching and college. I had become so busy in studies that I was not even able to go to Baba's house. He had called me once or twice and complained that what fun is there in this house that you have forgotten me. I had called you here for my own sake that I will meet you once or twice a week, but you don't care about your father at all. He had scolded me a lot while I was just listening to him quietly. At around 2 o'clock in the night, my eyes opened with this worry. Yesterday, my intention was to go to Baba, and I was getting extremely restless, even after listening to him. I don't know what he wanted to say that he was getting so emotional. I felt a strange sensation in the room. I was getting nervous. That's why I came out when suddenly I heard the sound of water falling from the washroom. I was startled and looked towards the washroom. Today, at 2 o'clock in the night, she was taking a bath again. But why does she take a bath so late at night? After a while, when she came out after taking a bath, I looked at her with surprise. Seeing me, she again got nervous. Her being scared was out of my control. Looking at me, she said nervously, "I was feeling hot. That's why I was taking a bath." "What are you doing here?" On seeing her, I just said that I had come to breathe in the open air. "It doesn't matter. Why are you giving me an explanation?" Saying this, I went outside. I didn't look at her again because she didn't even have a dupatta with her. But today, a strange thought started coming to my mind. Does she do this every day, or is there something else? I thought in my heart a strange thought. I had made up my mind that I will see tomorrow whether this is a daily routine or sometimes it happens. Time was passing slowly. Yesterday went as usual. I had come back after meeting Baba. He got a little emotional because I could not meet him today. I did not sleep at all. I was awake on the pretext of studying, and around 1 o'clock, I heard a knock from outside. Did someone go out? Does Auntie go out at 1 back in the night? Thinking something. I came out, I looked towards the door. She had just come out. She had locked the door from outside. I sat in the lodge. I had decided that today I will definitely ask her. When I refused her that you will not go to your friend's house at night, then why was she going today? But then I felt shy that it is not a good thing. Why should I ask her? She is elder to her who is hers. She can do whatever she wants. I have been sent here only to take care of her, not to impose restrictions on her. Thinking this, I came and sat in my room. Time started passing slowly, and it had been a full month since I had come to her house. I often could not sleep at night. I don't know why, but I felt a strange restlessness. Today, too, was a normal day when I started feeling restless once again. I wanted to breathe in the open air. That's why I came out of my room unintentionally. My eyes went towards Chachi's room, and then I fell down in my place because the light of Chachi's room was on, but Chachi was not present in the room. Her bed was placed right in front of me, due to which I could see her entire room. I looked towards the door, and it was locked. I looked towards the kitchen, and she was not there either. It was 3 out in the night. It was midnight. Where could she go at this time? I looked towards the washroom, but it was also closed. Was she on the roof? But I had taken steps upstairs thinking something at this late hour. But I did not know what scene was going to come in front of my eyes today. How I was going to know the reality of a woman today. What I had realized on the first day, I was going to see the same today, and I was very embarrassed to see this scene. As soon as I reached the top, I started hearing the sound of someone crying. I immediately took my steps up, and as soon as I looked ahead, I became like a stone in my place. She was standing near the reel and hugging a boy. My eyes were wide open, and then my pride was dying, and I was very angry. I was confused. What is happening here? You can go to such an extent. I had never imagined that on hearing my voice. Both of them distanced themselves as if they were untouchables. I immediately went to Chachi, but I felt like slapping her hard on the face and asking her, "What is this? You are from our family. What are you doing?" But I did not have the courage to raise my hand on a woman elder to me. She was very angry, and then she sat at my feet involuntarily, while that boy was standing in a corner and silently watching both of us. Chachi said while crying, "What should I do? Am I not a human being? Do I not have a heart in my chest? Your Chacha has left me in a bad state. Then I will do all this." After listening to her, I said angrily, "If your husband goes out, it means that you will bring other men closer to you. This is loyalty. A woman is made of the soil of loyalty. So how can you do this?" Hearing my words, she started crying with hiccups, while I was not able to understand her crying. Then, after hearing the truth she told me, I became completely silent. She said that your uncle had warned me on the first night of marriage that he will never return. On the first night of marriage, he had told me that he will hand me over to you so that you can take care of me all your life, and he himself will stay in the foreign country. He has already married there before me. He also has 2 children, but he did not tell this to anyone because everyone was against this. I was married because I am a symbol for this family. He had said that I will also make you have a child so that my blood is recognized with this family, so that my child can get the property. I used to like someone before marriage, but my parents did not listen to me. When a proposal came from a boy living in a foreign country, I was handed over to him. I also became silent, thinking that I have seen pain in my parents' house all my life. Now after marriage, I will get happiness with my husband. But what is the use? Even after marriage, I got only pain. My husband left me, and it was also made mandatory for me that now I will spend my whole life alone. So what crime did I commit? I accept that I am wrong. I got inclined towards someone else, adopted someone else, and made relations with him. But when they can do this, why can't I do it? I was listening to them very quietly. I believed that she was wrong. She had made wrong relations with that man, but it was not her fault either. When her husband is behaving like this with her, then, in my view, it is not wrong because she is also a human being and has a heart in her heart. I pushed her with my feet. I had raised her and promised her that I will support her. That boy lived next to her. Their friendship grew on the roof, and now it had reached the stage of love. When I asked that boy, he was also ready to adopt my aunt. I talked to my Baba about this in many ways the next day, but he got angry. He was ready to die in the name of pride. But when I told him about his brother's act, he bowed his head in shame, and then Baba did justice. I felt proud of my father that he had supported a strange woman against his brother. He had divorced them and then got Chacha married to that man. I want to give a lesson to everyone. Of course, you are adopting someone's daughter and marrying her, but if you do not give her the rights, then God will forgive you. No. I want to say to every man living in a foreign country that he should consider his wife as his wife and not just a caretaker of his house. She is also a human being and has a heart in her heart. Friends, please give us your valuable opinion in the comment section regarding this video, and if you like the video, then along with liking the video, please subscribe to this channel to see more such new videos. Thank you.